Welcome to Shom Machshav on the Daf. Shir sponsor Louis Nishmat Sarbiak Hashem Labas Yitzchok. We're holding over the Zara Daf Mem Beis. The Mishnah with Beis says a moitze kelim finds vessels, and they have all the shapes of over the Zara. And the Mishnah brings three examples: Tzuras Chama, Tzuras Lavana, Tzuras Drakon. What is the Drakon that we're talking about? So Rashi in the Gemara mentions it's doime lenochash. It looks like a snake. Many of the Rishonim explain that we're not talking about a snake that we know. We're talking about a different type of snake. We'll say it the way the Maharam Rothenburg questions in Chelik Beisim and Tav Tzadik Vov. He says, Kol yom ha'eiti tameh. I was always wondering, Maza sho'ivnim l'drakon. What is this drakon? Because we talk about a snake. It says ve'iv ha'ashis. It says that Odom and a snake don't live nicely together. So he brings the names of Shabsai HaChocham. The Drakon is Beriach Mashamayim, Ushmoi Tli HaGadol, Umoishil B'chol HaMazolos. Which means, there is 12 mazolos, 12 constellations in the sky. There is a 13th one, there's one which controls all of them. And that's called the Tli, the Teli, and that one is the snake referring to. And the Maharam likes this pshat very much. And really this is the lush of the Mordechai by us in Siman Tav Mem. He brings us the Kuda, it's Tali HaGadol U'Moishel B'Mazolos. And similarly is brought in the Sefer called Hamadri Hamaspik, which was written in Arabic when one of the Rishonim named of Tanchum Yerushalmi wrote many Perushim on Tanakh. And then he has, it's like an encyclopedia where he explains different things. And there he says that Drakon, he says, what is that? It's a Tzuras Nochash HaMispatel. It's like a wavering snake. V'nikra b'mikro Nochash B'riach. And then he brings that it means the Teli, which is between the Galgalim, whatever that means. And he goes to explain it a little bit more. The Rambam in Pirush Mishnayos says something similar. He brings Yidli Ish Echad B'Ba'alim Melocha Zu, Shezu Atzura, Zu Atzura, He Atzura the Tli HaLevana. Puts in the word Levana. The Dikar B'Aravi brings a name in Arabic. V'shein Nesed Al-Tani Kach, Kach V'Kach, that's the shape. V'shalti, if I asked him, says the Rambam, Be'ez the Sefer Zocher Zeh, where do you find it? V'shani Lo Eisi B'Oilum Tzur Zu, I never saw this shape. V'oma Ki Milamdoi Bodo Miliboi Tzur Zu, Im Abed V'Yishu Aslo B'Sayid, it was a made-up tzur, it's not an actual thing that exists, as the Rambam. On the He'oros of the Shoyl Umeshu in the Maharam Rothenburg, he sends us to the Vilna Gaon. Because he says the Vilna Gaon in Sefer Yetzirah and Perek Vov Mishnah Aleph says very similar to what the Maharam Rothenburg brought. That we're talking about what's controlling the mazolos. And the Vilna Gaon says the philosophers and Tochnim, the one that the astronomers, they didn't know. They got mixed up, the mistakes that they made and the cheshbonis that they had with the stars and the constellation, because they didn't know that there's something he called a Tli, which is something which we can't see it, but it controls all the other constellations. And based on that, you can understand many of the cheshbonis that people made mistakes, because they didn't know there's something that controls them. And then the Gaon in his period, Sefer Tznius, adds to it, that it says, there's the Chazal mentioned to us, there's a Nochash Bariach, and there's a Nochash Akaltoin. There's some kind of concept of a snake, which is going through the world and surrounds the world. And that's what we talk about over here. So it comes out, it controls the mazolos. And there's something in the world that controls the mazolos. And we know there's a concept that what is in the world has a name of a nachash. So Mimele, the tzura that the goyim put to it, they knew there's something over there. They gave it a tzura that looks a little bit like a snake, but it's circular and it's very large. I saw those that say that refers to what we call today in English dragon. The dragon has like a shape that looks like a snake, but it's a very large animal, very powerful. And it's some kind of a legendary creature that has powers, tremendous powers. Where does this come from? It comes because there is such a koyach in the world. There's something that has to do with the mazolos. And the Umasalim did not know how exactly it looks like. So because they know there's something called nachash, they gave it a shape that is similar to a nachash, and that's the dragon that was in the world, which they were worshipping. And it's fascinating that the Mishnah refers to this in Tzuras Drakon. Anyone who wants to join the Shomach Shava email list to WhatsApp, please email shomachshava@gmail.com.